I would encourage the committee to vote no on this amendment for a few reasons: practical, financial, social, emotional. First, there are a lot of schools that are moving towards gender-neutral bathrooms, and if we add female, we might become obsolete very quickly. Second, not all students who menstruate are female.
Minnesotans, this is why you need to start, or at bare minimum, mentally preparing for going the homeschool route. Hopefully the amendment passes. She wanted the amendment to be voted a no on, so there must have been someone else in there just thinking, I know what this game is. Let's make sure that they don't try to put this in the boys' bathrooms. So she wants to know, and eventually, if she did get her way, it will be the locker rooms. It'll be all public facilities, and eventually all facilities throughout the whole state of Minnesota. That's what she wants. But you know what? People shouldn't act really alarmed by this, because 2019, Dennis Prager was telling everybody this stuff was already taking place. Roll clip.
Okay,
These are giant left-wing lies.
We're talking about degrees.
To say that men can menstruate is a lie, and that is what is said.
Wait, where did that...
You never heard it, right? Okay, check it out, folks. Check it out. Anyone who says a man cannot menstruate is considered transphobic.
I missed this whole story.
You did?
I did.
I agree.
Tell me where you're getting this.
Just Google it. Can men menstruate?
Who is saying this? You're talking about a very small percentage.
Oh, really? Then how do you allow men, biological men, to run against women in the races in Connecticut and set all the high school records?
Okay, but that's...
they're called men.
No.
The Nation magazine said they're women.
Okay, but I would agree with you on that. The way you framed it is nonsense.
I framed it perfectly accurately.
No, you didn't. What you're talking about is, yes, someone who is transgendered, was a man, now claims to be a woman, is a woman, okay, is beating the dog shit out of other women in the race because, of course, they have more muscle mass. And even Martina Navratilova came out and said, this is ridiculous. You might as well not have women's sport. This is a far cry from saying men can menstruate.
I agree.
But that's not where anyone went with that, but you.
Not true.
Okay.
At the University of Berkeley men's room, tampons are given out. Check it out. UC Berkeley men's rooms have tampon dispensers.
So you see, some people chuckled at Prager, like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean tampons in it? These are on the college campuses even back then at Cal Berkeley. He knew what was taking place. The liberals, like Bill Maher and the others on his panel, like, what are you talking about? But did you notice that there were some people who just kind of sat back quietly? They knew. They just weren't going to chime in, either to, well, I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, or they do exactly that he was dead right about it all along. So, to all the God-fearing Minnesotans and anyone else maybe, seeing this kind of stuff taking place even at your local church and community, is that if you're seeing this stuff taking place, let's be clear. The Bible, God's book, the one that Jesus inspired himself, because he's God, does not support this. The Bible is quite clear that only women, biological women, can menstruate. Leviticus 15:19. When a woman has a discharge, and her discharge is blood from her body, she is to be in her menstruation 7 days, and anyone who touches her will be unclean until evening. The word for woman here in Hebrew is Issa. That is the word used in Genesis 2:22 when God made man and woman. Leviticus 18:19 is another example of only women can menstruate. One final Old Testament example is Leviticus 20:18. I use this one because the Hebrew word for man here is this word connected to Adam in Genesis 2:23. Those are the only two sexes / genders described in the Bible. There is not a spectrum. There is two. Your biological sex is your gender. That is what the Bible teaches. It's what the Bible says that there only is. In the New Testament, there's one example, and that's when the hemorrhaging woman of 12 years had such faith in Jesus that she only needed to reach out her hand and touch his cloak at the very bottom in order to be healed. And she was. The Greek word for woman here is gene, which is the same word used by the Greek translators of Genesis in the Septuagint. And prior to this scene, Jesus was sparring with the Pharisees, and they were trying to trap him with all their little scenarios. And the one they tried to do to make a hiccup for him was about divorce. And when it came to that, here's Jesus' reply. He quoted Genesis 1:27 and 2:24, which means that Jesus affirms that there's only two sexes / genders, and only women can menstruate. I'm sorry to all the teenagers out there who are struggling with gender dysphoria. It kills me because I've been in education for 15 years. I've seen it. And I know typically there's something that happened. So please find people who really do want to help you. But to all the God-fearing Minnesotans out there, you better start ringing the alarm bell on this stuff, either by calling up your state reps, or you better start bringing awareness to your church. Because sitting back and doing nothing and watching this all go by is not okay. That's not the Christian way. And what I mean by that is that being timid and passive is not how Jesus handled things. I'm not asking you to go and be an angry, shouting, screaming, crazy person. I'm telling you that you need to go and confront it and address it the same way that Jesus did. He didn't back down. He spoke truth in love. And that's all you can do. And that's what you should do. So please, call your state reps, call your local churches, church eldership, pastors, or whoever, the leadership. Because this cannot pass, or else it will be a point of no return for your schools in Minnesota.
Reminder, hit the subscribe button below, turn on the notification bell, hit the like button, and leave a comment. And don't forget to visit us at justscripted.org. But in the meantime, stay salty.